But you know, there's one story, and I don't care if I ever get to tell another story here, but it's on your brother.
Uh-oh. I wouldn't doubt that.
Well, back in the day, we were at Talladega. We was all working at Juniors. Me, Brewer, Mike Hill, had our little gang, you know. And, of course, you had Barry and Jimmy and all of them. So Mickey Gibbs lived over, he had a place.
Gaston,
He lived
Alabama.
in
Gaston.
Well, he had 3 ponds. And at that time, we all loved to fish. Fish. Well, we go, and that's all we worried about. We'd go down and qualify on Wednesday. Remember when we used to qualify on Wednesday?
Sit around for 4 days before your race.
So we covered the car up. We all went fishing. We, J.D. McDuffie, we sold him a set of tires so we could go buy us a trolling motor for one of the boats. We went to the Die Hard truck and got us a couple of batteries to run the trolling motor, so we're all set. We sponsored by Budweiser, so we had all the beer we could drink. So we go over there, and Barry and Jimmy come over there later. And Neil had put in some boats. Neil Bonnet had carried some flat-bottom boats over there so we'd have them. And we're out there fishing. It's me and Brewer and Terry in one boat, and Mike Hill and Bud Green in the other boat. And we were just catching them, going a little bass about 1.5 feet
They
long.
fed them fish,
Catching them things, you know, and they told us to take them out of there because there was too many of them in there. So we fished, and Barry and them, every time they'd move to another spot, they'd always cut right at us and give us a wake, you know, and try to turn us over. We had a good time.
Because we did all that stuff.
We had a good time. So we got ready to leave that night. It's dark. I mean, we didn't fish till it's dark.
Yeah.
Well, Barry and Jimmy's still out there. You can hear them talking right around the cove. And they trying to get back. The trolling motor had quit on them. They had, and the battery was dead, and you could hear the oars hitting the side of the boat, you know, and they were going to be a little while getting back. So we had all them fish. Well, you remember back then, Pontiac was good about giving the Pontiac teams vehicles at the
we all
racetrack.
had cars.
We always had.
Everybody had cars.
Well, they had one of them nice new Pontiacs.
Throw that fish in.
We took, it was 20 or 30 fish. Took it over there, and they left the car unlocked. We couldn't believe it. Opened the door, we put them behind the seat, we put them behind that seat, we put them under the seat, we put them everywhere, and left. Next day, we all just laughing, you know, going back to the motel, we can't hardly stand it. We get back, next day we're at the track, and they parked right beside us, you know. And we
In the garage.
in the garage, right
Race
beside us in the
cars
garage.
beside each other, yeah.
The whole time, all day, they never said a word to us. This was on Saturday. We had happy hour and all that stuff. They didn't run many laps, we didn't either. They still ain't said a word about that fish. Nobody. Well, Sunday morning we come in. We're going to, you know, start getting the cars ready. Well, back in, a lot of the truck drivers had this habit of cranking their trucks and building the airbags up, you know. Well, Bud jumped up. He was driving our truck. I think Henry was just working weekends at that time, or he might have done left and was with Harry Hyde at the time. I can't remember. But anyway, Bud goes over there and he cranks up our truck. And when he did, fish guts, scales, fish heads, and everything came out the pipes and covered every truck full of guts, fish.
They took that fish out of that car and dumped them down the...
Well, they cut them all up first.
Yeah, they cut them all up and put them in the exhaust pipe. We had them nice chrome
Oh, they were
stacks.
big stacks.
Yeah, and you ain't never seen such that. And just so happened, Junior was just getting there. And you remember right there where he had the bathrooms and you walked in that gate and right there in front of the trucks?
Yeah.
He had just walked in and about half of that fish landed on him. I have never, and when we seen that, you could see it from the garage, just like
fish cloud.
Oh my God, I'll never forget it. And I know we'll forget, Barry looked over and said, he said, we wondered what happened to all that fish y'all caught that day.
Barry was quick.
He was quick.
You didn't never get him on nothing.